Good day, everyone. I am Harvey from Bulacan State University, a first-year student, taking a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Financial Management. So today, we're going to discuss things about self-awareness and values education. So for introduction, each one of us has a responsibility to ourselves. But there are times we face difficulties in recognizing those roles. We need to understand and realize who we really are. So napakahirap naman talagang malaman at maging aware sa kung ano talaga tayo. Bilang sarili natin tayo yung nakakaalam, 'di ba? Responsibilidad natin 'yon. So, ang objectives ng seminar na ito ay maintindihan natin at magkaroon tayo ng sapat na kaalaman sa self-awareness. Ma-recognize natin yung sarili nating personality, strength, and preferences as a human person. So, ano ba ang mga key areas of self-awareness? It is very crucial task for a person to know himself or herself. Seeking ideas about self-awareness will help you understand your personality. Ika nga. When a certain person knows him or herself really well, it is easy for himself to identify the things or tasks he or she can certainly do. So, self-awareness is defined as the understanding of one's own individual personality. So, hatiin natin. Unahin natin yung self. Self often refers to yourself, himself, or oneself. It refers to a person in a prime condition as an entire person or individual. The second one is the awareness. So yung awareness, it is defined as showing realization, participation, and knowledge of one's growth. So, isa sa mga key para sa inner self is self-consciousness din, di ba? It gives you the idea of understanding your personality that can help you develop as a person or as an individual. So as you can see in this figure, ito yung mga key areas of self-awareness. So mababasa natin dyan yung personal traits natin as a person, values na meron tayo, skills, at saka habits like sports, yung mga skills natin na we usually do in a daily basis. Yung emotions natin nakapaloob din sa self-awareness. Kung paano natin siya hinahandle, feelings, paano natin siya pinaparating sa kapwa natin. At saka yung mga feedbacks na nakukuha natin sa other person or sa ating mga nakakasalamuha sa paligid. So, in this next figure, makikita natin, ito ang Johari's window. Yan. So, may 4 siyang boxes which is the open, blind, hidden, and unknown. So, ano nga ba itong Johari window na to? So, yung Johari window is a technique that helps people better understand their relationship with themselves and others. So, ginawa ito ni na Joseph Loft at Harrington Ingham, kaya ito naging Johari. Yan, sa kanila nagmula yon. Para ito kasi sa mga self-help groups and corporate settings as a heuristic exercise. So, ano nga ba ang purpose nito? So, yung model na to, simple lang siya, pero useful siya para ma-improve natin yung self-awareness natin and mutual understanding between individuals within a group. Ayan, so, para din ma-assess natin yung relationship natin sa bawat isa sa mga taong nakakasalamuha natin sa paligid at saka particularly din maging kapaki-pakinabang tayo in a team development. So yun, hindi lang tayo mag-grow kasi ang self-awareness, tulong din natin siya sa kapwa natin para yung buong grupo ay mag-growth as one, 'di ba? So, kung gusto nating maging effective yung personality or maging mas effective yung pag-grow ng ating self-awareness, mas kinakailangan natin tong ibahin, yung Johari window. Ayan, so kung titignan natin sa next figure na to, mas malaki yung open na box, hidden ay mas maliit, blind, at unknown. Yan. So, lumiit yung tatlong box, and then, yung open ang pinakamalaki. Kaya naging ganyan yung figure na ginawa natin is for us to understand more our personality, we need to widen the box open. Ayan. So, para magawa nating ma-widen yung open na box, seeking feedback from others ay very important. Practice new behavior, mag-adapt, at higit sa lahat, self-disclosure. Moving on with our next topic is goals and the benefits of self-awareness. So, while everybody has a clear understanding of what self-awareness is, we don't know exactly where it comes from, what its foundation are, or why some of us appear to have more or less of it than others. We can go through our day without giving our inner selves any extra consideration, only thinking and feeling and doing as what we like. But we can also center our attention on that inner self. So, para mag-increase yung self-awareness natin, makikita natin sa figure na to yung 5 ways to help everyone to develop their self-awareness. So, 1 is create time. Yan. So, hayaan nyo yung sarili nyo ng huwag nyong madaliin na maging aware o matutunan yung self-awareness ng mabilis. Give yourself time para mas maintindihan nyo yung sarili nyo. Mindfulness is second. Create journals. You write. You write what you feel on your day, what happened to you. Learn to listen. Yan. So, dyan ka na mag-a-ask ng feedbacks or opinions from others. And last yan, kakasabi ko nga is the feedback. Self-awareness is a powerful resource that can do better when practiced consistently. To bring meaningful and positive change, people need to be able to look inward and familiarize themselves with the inner environment. So now, we have in mind some ways to cultivate our self-awareness. So there are many ways to develop kasi self-awareness and practice it. But as you can see, we have some of the most powerful ways to develop our self-awareness. So 1 is beware of what upsets you about others. So limitahan daw yung mga nakakaapekto sa'yo na ginagawa ng mga taong nakapaligid sa'yo o nakakapagpaiba ng mood mo. Kasi kailangan sa self-awareness, kontrolado mo yung moods mo, yung emotions mo, habang nakikipag-usap ka, nakikisalamuha ka sa ibang tao. Second is practice meditation. Ayan, self-reflection, mag-reflect ka. Nilay-nilay ba yun? Basta parang, you meditate, you think, you rest, you let your self-rest from negativity, parang ganon. So, next is, draw your own timeline. Next one is find time to write out your beliefs. Yan. Yung mga paniniwala. And the last one is ask for feedbacks. Yun nga yung sinabi ko kanina na opinions of others. Yun. Ask nyo sila kung ano yung opinions nila towards your actions, kung ano yung masasabi nila sa skills mo na to, pagsabi mo ng ganitong bagay, pag-amin mo ng katotohanan, yun, feeling ko yun yung important ways para maging self-aware tayo. So next is the benefits of self-awareness. Napakaraming benefits kasi ng self-awareness, no? Pero magpo-focus tayo sa mga importante at mga positibo na magagawa ng self-awareness sa atin. So una, is better relationship with others. Yan. So, kung self-aware ka, magkakaroon ka ng magandang kaugnayan sa iba. So, it's really hard to say in a relationship what we want and need because we're not really focused on those issues ourselves. What's more, the less self-awareness we have, the easier is it to become insecure in our relationships with others, which in any kind of relationship is a recipe for disaster. Ayan, so, kung hindi tayo self-aware, maaari itong magdulot ng hindi pagkakaunawaan towards sa kausap mo, sa mga nakakasalamuha mo, maaari hindi ka nila maintindihan na ito yung gusto mong gawin. Pero kung self-aware ka at alam mo yung ginagawa mo is hindi naman ganon nakaaapekto sa kanila at hindi ka rin nagagawa nitong ibaba sa paningin nila, yun ang maganda sa self-awareness. Yun yung sa pinaka natutulong niya. Better relationship with others. So, the second one is know to control your moods. Yan, di ba? Puro tayo emotions. So, yan, know to control the moods. Kung self-aware ka, we need to set our moods, and the new way to continue to act depends mostly how we want to think and behave. As we strengthen our understanding of the relationship between our thoughts, actions, and emotions, our emotions are and moods are easier to control. Ayan. So, kung self-aware ka daw, mas makokontrol natin yung mga moods and emotions natin sa araw-araw. The next one is better decision making. Kung self-aware ka, makakapag-decide ka ng maayos. Mas gagana yung utak mong maisip yung mga positibong bagay at mareresolve yung mga problema nang hindi ganun naapektuhan yung sarili at yung mga nakakasalamu at yung mga ibang taong nasa paligid mo or mga kapamilya mo. So next, communicate effectively. It makes easier to connect with any area of life, whether it's with a friend, boss, at work, and family. To have a better understanding of what you believe and what you really want. The more we know ourselves, the easier it is to interact with confidence, to be frank about what you want, and to be respectful of others' wishes. Ayan. So, communicate effectively. Kung self-aware ka daw, mas mapaparating mo yung gusto mong sabihin sa kaibigan mo, boss mo, or sa mga kapamilya mo nang proud ka at saka hindi dadating na parang minamasama mo yung isang bagay sa pagiging prangka mo. Kumbaga, prangka pero marespeto. Ganon. Sa pag self-aware ka, ganon. And the last benefits naman is raising efficiency. A lack of ambition or dedication is not the most common cause of procrastination and low productivity. It's interference from ourselves. Ayan. So, raising efficiency. So, hindi ka lang upo sa tabi. Kung self-aware ka, alam mo yung mga dapat mong gawin sa isang araw, sa susunod na araw, sa mga susunod na araw. Like, walang procrastination or yung mamaya na, gagawin mamaya kapag may time pa. Hindi yun uso kapag self-aware ka. If you were struggling to get work, it's typically because of our feelings, emotions, or behaviors get in the way on some stage. Improving self-awareness will help to remove many of those secret productivity barriers. Ayan. So, malilimitahan yung mga barriers na meron sa self-awareness. So, the next figure, as you can see, know your emotional system. So, connected din siya sa self-awareness kasi dito, sa cycle na to, makikita natin na take on new feelings. Iintindihin mo yung iba. Yung parang, put yourself in the shoe of others ba yun? Parang ganon. Yung ilalagay mo yung sitwasyon mo sa sitwasyon nila para malaman mo kung ano yung pinagdadaanan nila. So, next, yung take on new environment, values, and behavior. So, pag-aaralan mo na ngayon kung ano yung values, kung saan siya, behavior na meron siya, at saka yung environment na nasasakupan niya or siya, kung saan siya na-belong. Ayun. The next one is implement the environment's values and behavior. So, after mo i-understand at pag-aralan yung mga values and beliefs na meron siya, ipapasok mo na ngayon to sa sarili mo para maging aware ka na. Yun, dun na papasok yung self-awareness. After that, understand your effective process or restriction. So, dun na. After that cycle, possible, self-aware ka na. So, more than just the emotional network, self-awareness requires understanding. You have other voluntary mental skills such as determination, concentration, self-talk, etc. Such conviction leads to an easier time knowing and developing your emotional intelligence and self-awareness and less questioning what they are. Moving on with our next topic is developing Filipino values. So, as we all know, Filipinos have this kind of values na wala sa ibang bansa. Like, kung makikita natin sa figure na ito yung roots ng Filipino character. Nakapaloob sa bawat Pilipino yung kultura natin, environment na kinabibilangan natin, relihiyon, ayan, sa pagiging relihiyoso ng mga Pilipino. At saka yung history na meron tayo. Ayan, dyan tayo nagmula. So, dito makikita natin naman yung strengths and weaknesses ng Filipino character. Ayan, sa strength, yung pakikipagkapwa-tao. Ayan, isa yan sa pinaka matibay nating pundasyon sa sarili natin. Yung tumutulong tayo ng walang kapalit. Yun, parang pakikipagkapwa-tao. Family-oriented. Family comes first. Humor and joy. Masiyahin at saka palatawa talaga kasi talaga ang mga Pilipino, di ba? Na parang kahit may problema na tayong kinakaharap, itawa lang natin at mareresolba din to. Parang laughter is the best medicine, ika nga, sa Pilipinas. Pero kahit tumatawa tayo, umiisip na tayo ng paraan para ma-resolve ang isang problema. The next one is adaptive. Magaling tayo makisalamuha, makibagay sa iba't ibang tao. Hardworking yan, masisipag ang mga Pilipino. Faith, napakatibay ng faith ng mga Pilipino. Kasi 'di ba, sa lahat ng oras, kapag natatakot tayo, nalulungkot, masaya, nangangailangan ng tulong, nagdadasal tayo. Hingi ng guidance kay Lord para sa mga gagawin natin. And ability to survive. Ayan, so, isa yan. Yung gagawin ng lahat para mabuhay. Yan ang Pilipino, di ba? So, sa weaknesses naman, andyan yung lack of initiative. May mga mangilan-ngilan na walang pagkukusa, kulang sa disiplina, kanya-kanya, yung parang ayaw tumulong kasi wala naman siyang mapapala. Yung ganon, yung ilan lang naman, hindi naman halos lahat ng Pilipino ganon. So, ito yung mga bagay naman na dapat nating malaman about Filipino values. Una, yung pagiging respectful. Yan. Respectful talaga ang mga Pilipino kasi we are always taught how to be polite by using this basic catchphrases. Yeah, po at opo, nagmamano sa mga matatanda. In other words, that end sentence with approaching parents right from the moment we are brought into this world. They have a tradition of pagmamano, yan, like what I said earlier, which is where they lift the back of their elders' hands as a show of reverence of their foreheads. Yan. Napaka-respectful talaga ng mga Pilipino. The next one is religious. Yan. Napaka-relihiyoso ng mga Pilipino kasi more than 2,000 inhabited islands from the Philippines and large islands also have numerous regional and local population. Filipino Catholicism is influenced by the local indigenous traditions and by the Spaniards who invaded it during the 16th century and controlled it until the beginning of the 20th century. Until now, each Sunday, ayan, tuwing linggo, or sometimes 2 to 3 days a week, every family goes to church para magdasal, magpasalamat, humingi ng guidance, yan. So, napaka-relihiyoso ng mga Pilipino. The next one is helpful. Filipinos supports each other without asking much in return, so that their duties and obligations are made even easier to pursue. It is more popularly known as bayanihan. Ayan. Mahilig kasi magbayanihan at magtulong-tulong ang mga Pilipino. Kunwari, may nasusunugan. Handang tumulong yung mga kahit hindi naman kakilala para lang maapula agad yung sunog. Ganon. Ganon ka-helpful ang bawat Pilipino na handang tumulong kahit walang maibabalik na tulong at hindi nang ihingi ng kapalit. So, sa pagiging helpful, ito yung tinaguriang the heart of the culture, yung pagiging matulungin ng mga Pilipino. Next one is family-oriented. Family comes first in the Philippines, as we all know. So whether you're part of the extended family or part of third or fourth generation, you are regarded as a member of the family. Even the closest friends are sometimes considered to be family too. Yan, so yung mga kaibigan natin, yung mga matatalik natin kaibigan, at yung mga magulang nila, tinuturing na rin natin silang mga pamilya. Like, pag nung mga bata tayo, feeling natin, kapatid natin yung mga kalaro lang natin sa paligid, yan, sa nakikita natin sa labas. So, likas sa mga Pilipino yung pagiging family-oriented natin. And the last one is the tradition and culture. Traditions at home and family are important for Filipinos. Usually, they set aside a special day for any events such as celebrations, birthday parties, gatherings, and many more. Each gathering is, of course, dedicated to keeping up with each other. Yan. So, reunion. Diyan magkikita-kita. Hindi lang naman family reunion, like mga college reunion. So, yan. Likas sa mga Pilipino yung pagiging mahilig mag-celebrate. Kahit napakaliit lang na pagkapanalo. Sineselebrate kasi isa yun sa mga tradisyon natin na dapat isineselebrate yung mga bagay na nakakapagpapasaya sa atin at nakakapag-grow sa atin as a person. So, before we end this seminar or discussion, panoorin muna natin yung mga iba pang mga katangian at values na meron ng mga Pilipino na magiging proud talaga tayo.
Every country has differing values and stereotypes. And of course, our country, the Philippines, has no exception. We Filipinos believe that we have, perhaps, one of the best values in the world that came from our ancestors and remained intact, and we are still honoring them even up to this day. Filipinos are not perfect, but we have great characteristics and qualities that we Pinoys should be proud of. So here are 7 Filipino values we should be proud of. Value number 1 is hospitality. One of the most popular qualities of Filipinos is being hospitable. Foreigners love this warm hospitality, and not just foreigners. Even us Filipinos had held high with this positive trait we had. The next value is freedom and love of country. Filipinos are freedom-loving people. They can sacrifice everything in just freedom's name. For them, freedomless life is a state of meaninglessness. For Filipinos, it doesn't matter whether they are wounded, brutalized, or salvaged. As long as we can preserve our freedom, then we will fight for it in the name of our country, the Philippines. The third value that we have is religion. Filipinos in general are God-centered and God-conscious. Religious cultures such as the Black Nazarene, fiestas, honoring of our patrons, and car blessings and house blessings are just some of the acts that we value religion so much. The fourth value that we have is human labor and work. Self-development. We Filipinos value this trait so much because by working hard, a person can attain his desires and fulfill his dreams. From our hardworking OFWs to our greatest and strongest laborers, we salute you. The fifth value that we have is family. Asians were naturally collectivist, and us Filipinos are well known for our family-centeredness. Filipinos give so much value to the family that they labor so hard and sacrifice so much for their family. The family that sows goodness reaps fortune, and the one that sows evil reaps suffering. The sixth value we have is personal dignity. For Filipinos, personal dignity is the most important wealth on earth. Worldly riches can be bought, but one's good character is lasting and priceless. We impose this value through different self-improvement and by showcasing different skills and talents, that we can do everything as a Filipino. Last and definitely not the least, the number 7 value is human fellowship. In human fellowship, Filipinos are known to have good relationship with each other. According to the Ilocanos, if you don't like the person, you should not shame or embarrass him. Man finds himself a human being in relation to another human being. So these are just some of the noticeable values we Filipinos have, and there are hundreds of good characteristics we can be proud of. This has been Josh Guerra, and I am proud to be Pinoy.
Thank you, and I hope marami kayong natutunan sa seminar natin ngayon about self-awareness and values education. Maraming salamat.